Welcome to the Dawg Chug. Roger, Ed, Lana's here. We're going to have a great show. I'm so happy you guys are here. How's it going tonight?
Good.
Man, you know what? It's going pretty good. I'm not going to hog the whole segment. We got Lana's in the fourth chair tonight. Heather had to get out. She had something came up for her, so she couldn't join us tonight. She'll be back next week. Well, Lana's got the fourth chair all to herself. Ed, what do you got? What do you guys got? Something with Lana? What's going on?
Well, I want to say this: we are blessed tonight, everybody out there, because we sprung daylight savings time, whether you like it or not. Hey, we lost an hour. Closer to the Dawg Chug, closer to Lana being in that fourth seat. We're going to find out tonight. She goes to get accumulate some points here. So, and Andy, this is a big night for her. Right. She's going unopposed tonight. She could rack up the points. She could get it done.
Yeah. And you're not doing yourself any service by missing all these shows. I think you're going to win just because she fucked up, not because you're worthy.
Yeah. Hey, y'all. Oh, yeah. No, I said as HR, though, we should have attendance points.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Look, when people make time to come on the Dawg Chug, which is insane, I don't know anyone would do that. That definitely carries weight with us. So thank you.
You know what? I like to reach out to the 6 people that watch.
Wow. Isn't there a clause? Like, I mean, you get docked if it's something, important. Like if you got tickets to go somewhere to a game and you don't come on Dawg Chug, if you're not going to go and you're going to be on Dawg Chug, give me the tickets and I won't go on Dawg Chug, and give me the tickets and I'll go to whatever sporting event it is. I totally understand that. But if you got to rush, I don't know, if you got to drive a friend somewhere in need, or your dog needs to go to the vet and you miss the Dawg Chug, then that might be points against you, right? Fair?
What a great point, Roger. MC Lawrence checking in, excited for a 9 p.m. show.
We're getting a lot of good feedback on that.
Yeah, Roger's actually awake for this show. It's going to be great.
Yes, we moved up the show an hour to accommodate our great guest, Mac the Buffalo, who'll be on in a little bit. But before that, let's have some fun, guys, because I don't know if you've noticed, but social media is fucking crazy this week.
Oh,
man, yeah, it's wild out there.
There's a lot of whining. In fact, let's see. Let's ask Chugbot to assess the state of Brown's Twitter.
I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting.
Chugbot, can you please assess the state of Cleveland Browns Twitter right now after free agency's kicked off? How do you think it's going so far, buddy? He has to get a little warmed up sometimes,
He's drunk.
Our regulars showed up. They know how to read. I was worried some of them don't know how to read that well, and they just look at the pictures on X.
Shout out, Steve. Regular Dawg Chug.
They saw that we were an early start. Thank you, Steve. And MC, of course, he's solid. MC's there because it's 10 o'clock is bedtime. So he showed up.
That's my bedtime.
Your bedtime's 9:30, Roger, but somehow you keep managing to get through the shows. I don't know how you do it.
Chugbot's coming out pretty hot. He had like a book for me, and on the Dawg Chug, we like it tight, except for when Roger's answering. So I asked him to summarize.
Yeah.
Okay. Chugbot, how would you assess in a more tightly compact form the Browns offseason and how social media is reacting? Browns Twitter.
All right, Andy. Chugbot's boiling down Browns Twitter's state to 100 words. The 12th of March, 2025. These whiny honkies are a mess. Free agency's day 3, and they're bitching about Myles Garrett's trade flip, Pickett's baby hands, and no QB, RB, or WR2. Fans like, at Bus2 Clay, Trashberry's gutless moves, while, at Finken23, says they love misery. True, they are glued to X despite Cleveland's warm spell. Ed is Dawg Chug, Lana's thirst, and Max stats will poke the bear tonight. Heather's flakeouts just more fuel. It's chaos. Half pissed, half sobbing, all pathetic. Perfect for an early show, you basement wimp.
Okay. Thank you for that, Chugbot. You still
see 100 words. That was very concise for 100 words. I mean, that's
it felt like a lot of information for hours. Yeah. All right. Well, Ed, I know when you handle things, you are very tight. So take the next segment away.
All right. without further ado, that's right. This is Ed in Columbus with your Dawg Chug. Breaking news. The Buffalo Bills re-signed Damar Hamlin, who, according to Bills Mafia, is the first person to get whacked and then come back to life. Don't forget about it.
He's a zombie.
The Cleveland Cavaliers won their division title, and the Guardians congratulated them, while the Browns did not, as they have no idea what a division title is. And finally, new Browns quarterback Kenny Pickett may have small hands, but that just makes his balls look bigger. Hey now. And this is Ed in Columbus with your Dawg Chug. Breaking news.
I'm not going to survive the small hands. I'm just not going to survive the small hands. I can't.
Yeah. I mean, it's the gift that keeps on giving. People that are upset about this move just don't get it. Like, it's hilarious that we have this tiny hands. I imagine he's got hands as small as Lana's.
Yes.
He's got tiny hands, little mitten hands, little tiny mitten hands. Look at those things. Hey, Mac the Buffalo just messaged me. Andy, somebody sent him a link again. He said he didn't get it.
Oh. Oops.
Yeah, send the Buffalo a link.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, we will get on this.
All right. Well, Roger, why don't you do your top 10 and we'll make sure Mac.
Yeah, I wanted to get that message out to you. Well, I want to do the top 10. And everything. What's up? Oh, see, now I'm kind of waiting for the guest. I want him to be in the green room. He didn't get in yet. But everything that's great has a nickname.
Hold on. We can pivot.
We can
bring Eddie
on.
on.
Let's have Eddie in.
Yeah. Yeah, why don't we bring Eddie in anyway? Let's bring Eddie in. Then we'll do the top 10 and go to Mac. Once Mac gets to
could be flexible on the Dawg Chug.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he had Eddie's had the big dart tournament win, and he's coming to do a chug for his dart tournament win. So we should bring him in.
All right. I just got to find. Did you send Ed by any chance?
I thought I did, but you know what? I'm doing it right now as we speak. So
here's his email, Ed. It's in the Dawg Chug production chat. There's his email.
I also DM'd him. So if you're out there, Mac, I DM'd you. I don't.
Okay. All right. Eddie, a big fan of the show who has come on many times to do victory chugs on the occasional times the Browns have managed to pull out a win. He always comes on and does a victory chug, and today he's celebrating a different victory. His dart team won the league, so he wanted to come on and brag a little bit and be humbled by Chugbot. So, Eddie, welcome back to the Dawg Chug. How's it going tonight?
It's going wonderfully. How is everybody?
Good.
Great, Eddie.
It is great that you guys finally got a woman's touch around here. It's starting to be a little messy, so I'm very appreciative.
Nice.
I'm here to keep it classy, Eddie.
As you should.
So you won the Dart League, right?
Yes, for the second time in 3 years.
Wow.
So we won it our first year together. We lost last year to these guys, and then we beat them this year. And they were undefeated going into this season, and we had lost like 3, and that didn't matter.
What made the difference in the championship or whatever, the final or whatever?
Well, our best player was out most of the year with a bicep injury. He came back, and then we just played way better last night, and we were all focused on beating them because last year we lost, and they got plaques at the VFW with our pictures on it, and ours is the second place one, and I'm in there just not looking happy. So I was like, yeah, I can't be looking at this anymore. We got to get a new one. We did. They were salty. We ended their perfect season, and now we're chugging beers for it.
That's awesome.
Nice.
I know Chugbot wanted to say hi. Chugbot, go ahead and say hi to Eddie. This is your first time meeting him.
Eddie, you dart chugging redneck. A victory chug for your shitty league. Chugbots impressed you hit anything with that bushy beard blocking your aim. Too bad a vet dodged your desperate ass like a bad throw. Here's to 9 more months of your dry dick misery. You Pittsburgh hillbilly.
Whoa. Chugbot coming in hot.
Well, I'm not from Pittsburgh. That's first and foremost. That's
close to Pittsburgh.
I'm the same distance to you as I am to Pittsburgh.
Well, look,
all right.
Chugbot likes to keep it loose. You know what I mean?
That's all right.
Please learn your geography.
We need to teach him a little.
Not good at geography here at Dawg Chug.
So, who, like, in your when you guys won? Who hit like the big winning shot?
That's actually our guy that came back from injury like a month ago, and he hit the ending to take it out. He had, I don't even know what the hell he had. 30. He hit double 2, missed it, and then hit double 13.
What put you on the IR on a dartsy?
Yeah, that I was.
Well, he was at work and tried doing something and tore his bicep. So.
Oh yeah, that would do it.
Well, Eddie, putting it into Browns terms, now we all know that there's a guy that for the Cleveland Browns that we love and name Nicholas Chubb. And so you obviously won a championship with a guy with had a major injury. I mean, that's, regardless of darts. I mean, we're talking bicep, whatever. That's major. So, watching him and watching your team succeed and win this championship, you're telling me, can the Browns re-sign Nick Chubb and regain some glory? Because you've seen it at a high level of competition. Because
I don't know if they can regain the glory. I do think they re-sign him, especially because Myles Garrett's like, yeah, you know what? I went out. Oh, wait, you said $40 million? Okay, cool. Can I have Nick Chubb too? All right, let's get him. All right, I'm in. We're in. And I want a Super Bowl quarterback. I didn't think that would be Kenny Pickett, but here we are.
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to say, Eddie, I think dart players are just as valuable and as strong as football players. And seeing what you guys did out there inspires me. Andrew Berry, get it done. Get Nick Chubb back in Cleveland, and I think it's on. But no, congratulations, Eddie, on that. That's
Thank you.
Yes. Congratulations.
So when's the chug? You got chug? You got a chug for it?
Yeah, we're gonna chug. We're gonna chug.
I got Michelob Ultra.
Well, Andy, did you have something before the chug? I'm sorry.
Why don't you do your chug? And while you're doing it, Chugbot wanted. I wanted to see Chugbot. Are you impressed that Eddie won his dart league? And you can start chugging.
It's gonna be good.
All right.
Eddie, you dart throwing loser. Chugbot's not impressed. Winning your shitty leagues like growing over a bar tab. You sad sack. Takes no balls to fling sticks in from fifth third dive. Big deal. You lonely prick.
That was the best chug you've ever done.
That almost came out his nose.
It did all over. It almost did all over my phone, and that wouldn't have been good. But okay. All right.
Mark that for a chuggy. We do a series of awards at the end of the year for our best moments.
Yeah, while he's chugging, we got some comments while he's chugging.
Oh, what do we got?
Well, you got one, Eddie. While you're looking sexy, you're looking sexy.
Barky Browns.
That's right. Thank you.
Shout out Lysandra. Shout out to the Mile High.
Lysandra.
Hey, Lysandra.
And then my favorite, Andy, who I hope to see in the next month or whatever. Mike Crutchfeld checks in, and he does have a question, Eddie. God. Eddie, can you answer this since you know the game better than we do? Is that doable? Is that doable?
I mean, yes, it's doable, but that's just not how it works. Like if a pitcher has Tommy John surgery like Garrett Cole's having soon, can he just pitch left-handed? I don't think so.
Well,
now there are people who can play darts both ways. Like I can throw darts left-handed, but I'm not very accurate.
They go both ways in darts.
Fascinating.
Hey, we'll play. Me and you will shoot darts, and we'll both throw left-handed.
Okay.
Let me ask you this: if you win the, I would imagine when you win like the championship in Cleveland, the Cavaliers did back in 2016. They all got laid like 100,000 times from anyone in Cleveland they wanted to. Have you gotten laid since winning?
Since the championship? No, I got drunk instead.
That's a shame. Have you gotten laid yet this year?
In 2025, yes.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay. Wow,
Andy. Did that have anything to do with the Dawg Chug? Or
unfortunately not.
So we're still on the hook.
Your failed match game has failed, so we're back to the drawing board with the Dawg Chug helping.
Our New Year's resolution was in 2025 we're going to get you laid. So we're only
we wanted the Andy. We also wanted the credit. So, a question, Eddie, now that you're obviously cooler than what we thought we were, next time you go out there and you're on the prowl like that, just let her know that you're on the Dawg Chug and see if that helps at all. That's all.
That might help, actually.
Okay.
Eddie, I'm going to get you married.
No, let's just relax there, buddy. Let's
2025? Is that your goal in 2025?
Slow down, Roger. Let's just not do that.
You know what? You're my friend. I wouldn't do that to you.
Thank you.
So anyway, I just want to let you know we have a lot of coals in the fire to fulfill this pledge to get you laid in 2025. We're working on a lot of angles, but you fear not, because both Heather and Lana have agreed. One of them's going to take one for the team and bang you to get 50 Dawg Chug points.
We are here to help.
Okay.
See, that's
the team spirit. That's
points, Andy. Coveted points. Coveted.
Yeah. What are these points for? What are Dawg Chug points?
Heather and Lana
it's
are
like
battling to win Ross's chair, and
Yes.
we award Dawg Chug points for them when they come on, based on games and silly shit we play. Right now, Lana's in the lead 9-7, but it's anyone's game because Heather can just bang you, and then she gets to 57. So
Right.
And it's kind of like crypto, and you can get different coins. You can get it's kind of like crypto, so it fluctuates. You don't know what one could be worth 1,000 points, and the next one could be 2. You might even get negative points on something. You don't know.
So it's like point. It's like points, like the point system in Harry Potter, where
I missed all that, but
let me ask you this, Eddie: would you be a little humiliated wearing a Kevin Stefanski mask?
Wow. No, I don't think so.
All right, then Lana's
I don't think Mac got our messages.
Oh no,
Mac is in the green room. He's good. We are good.
Oh, is he?
I can't see those.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That must be a room. I got you.
All right, Eddie, do you have anything finished? I know we want to get our guest on. Do you want to say hi? Do you have any questions for Chugbot? Do you have any questions for Lana?
Nope, not for Chugbot. I don't want to talk to him right now. But next time will be much better. Next time will be a lot smoother transition for that. And in June, it's going to be
nice to you. He was actually.
It's going to be Cavs and Lakers in June, and a 7-game series to see who wins it all. So that'll be fun. So
yes, go Cavs!
Wow,
go Bronchich, LeBronchich.
Chugbot, what do you think about Eddie's prediction that it's going to be the Cavs, our Cleveland Cavaliers, versus the Los Angeles Lakers in the finals? Some think it's going to be the Thunder, but he thinks it's going to be the Lakers.
All right, Andy, Chugbot's here to chew on Eddie's Cavs versus Lakers finals pipe dream for tonight's show. That dart chucking Hicks got a boner for Cleveland's hot streak. 27-4 at home. Your date night win. And LA's LeBron Lucas circus. Now 15-4 since the trade. The web chatter. Cavs are deep. Torching teams with a fence. With Lakers the fence is a fluke. X posts like. At PaulClar07383591. Say they just whacked by Cleveland or Boston. Ed is half right. Cavs could make it, but LA's a long shot. Too thin. Too shaky. What's your take? You basement lush. Game's on.
Oh my God. I got to tell Chugbot, you don't need to put the post name. I'm going to tell it that. So, all right. Well, I think Chugbot doesn't think it's going to happen. So when it happens, when it is the Cavs versus the Lakers, you can come on and you can crow.
Yes.
Okay.
And you can do victory chugs.
That's also true.
And tell us of the stories of how he helped get you banged, because that's really what it's all about.
Dude, he's a dart, Andy. He's a dart champion. I think we got to show him the respect that he come on and find a reason to come on. True. He's a dart champion.
Two times.
Two times. Two times. Put some respect on that name.
How many teams are in that dart league?
This year was 10. Last year was 13. The year before was 14.
Wow.
Has there ever been any altercations in the parking lot between?
No.
Never.
Because most of our games are at VFW, so a lot of people are like, we're not going to do that to this place.
Okay, but has there ever been any altercations? Any little heated? Anything?
Some arguments here and there, but nothing that was ever.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean,
unfortunately.
Okay.
All right. Finally, I want to ask you, who is going to be the veteran quarterback that the Browns bring in? And if you get it right, you got to come on and do a victory chug.
Oh, I hate all of the options.
Yes.
Yeah, they're all terrible. It's whatever we do, it's going to be a disaster. But what do you think is actually going to happen? Let's see.
I would rather Ross come back from his wherever he's at to quarterback the Browns than have anyone. But unfortunately, I think it's going to be Russ, and I don't like that. Well, although him and Kenny Pickett has a chance to do the funniest thing ever and just beat the shit out of the Steelers this year. So I don't know. Can we, I don't care. Can we just put Myles Garrett at quarterback? He can do both. He can chase the quarterbacks and throw it.
I don't.
Yeah, we can.
But it is interesting. Kenny Pickett tried to join a dart league once, but he couldn't actually palm the dart.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
They're wide, Andy. Those things are wide. Those things are.
All right, Eddie. Well, thanks for coming on. We love having you on, and I hope that I hope many of the women from the show bang you in the future. Please reach out. DMs are
You've
open.
earned it, champion. You've earned it.
Next week we're having we're gonna have a special lady on, so maybe.
Who do you think we could get laid first, Tim or the Ginzer Notorious?
Who?
Definitely Eddie. Eddie.
Don't ever mention me with him.
Eddie too.
Don't ever mention me with him ever again, Roger. That was that was more disrespectful than your marriage comment, actually.
Right. And Eddie don't sleep with his family like the Ginzer. So there's another thing that Eddie's checked against us.
We're gonna move along, but thank you, Eddie, and go Cavs. Let's go.
Go Lakers and Cavs.
Yeah. All right, that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie's always a good time.
It's always.
I love him.
Okay, let's bring on our featured guest because
we gotta do the top 10.
I want to segue to the top 10, but before we do that, we want Mac so he could be reacting. So Mac the Buffalo, welcome back to the Dawg Chug. Now,
hey guys,
wow.
I didn't have time to test my mic here, and I want to apologize to Lana when I was on Bougie Sports last week because mic's a bit sensitive, and I may or may not have got excited and yelled in everybody's ear. So,
I
good?
don't ever think that. It was great.
All right, perfect. But thanks for having me on, guys.
Hell yeah, we love it when you come on.
The mustache, the legend.
Roger wants to do a top 10 about mustaches, and we figured it would be fun to have you on so you could react. So, Roger, I'm going to turn to you.
All right. Well, everything that's great got a nickname, right? You got Vegas and Sin City, the Big Bambino. You got Primetime. Doc Gooden's curveball is so good, it's called Lord Charles. So we went to the home office in where was your college? God damn it, I wrote it down. We went to the home office and we came up with the top 10 nicknames for Mac's mustache. And these right here, when you're famous, and I want to say this. I said this before on Dawg Chug, is when I daydream of me being a fireman rescuing people from buildings. I'm me, but I got Mac's mustache. I look like Mac. It's that's my. So these are this is all respect. The top 10 nicknames for Mac's mustache. Here we go. The Lip Slinky. Number 9, the Senor Sanchez. Number 7. Number 8, the Deal Sealer.
What?
Number 6, the Nose Lawn. Number 5, the Double Strip. Number 4, Burt Reynolds Bitch. Number 3, the Smirkin' Merkin. Number 2, the Hyman Blanket. And number 1, nickname for Mac's mustache is the Disco Buffalo. And that's tonight's top 10. Honoring Mac's
Well done.
mustache.
Love it.
Little fun, appetizer fun. How are you doing, Mac? How is everything going? I forgot to, because we had you on to do this, go follow this guy. He got shit canned on X. He's restarted his account. So please, if you're not following him, follow him. He's great. He'll bring you the best stats out there in Cleveland Twitter, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And every day you're just pushing wisdom instead of the same dumb old sorry takes. So
rhetoric. I
appreciate it.
Well, I mean, I got to give the people something here. Like Karn's has the poems. You guys have the comedy. I need to provide something. I need to give the people what they want. So
you bring it to the table, Mac. You bring it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
You do one hell of a job. Are you still doing any writing?
Yes, still writing for Dog Pound Daily. Yeah. It's just more or less right now with how fluid free agency is, and just because for me right now, and I don't know about you guys, but the constantly checking the phone, checking for the news updates, who's available, who got signed, what are the details. I mean, we've been doing the whole cap gymnastics thing since we traded for Redacted. So it's just one of those things where it's just sensory overload. I'm waiting to just take in all the information, and then we will evaluate and analyze.
That's incredible. Alana, I know, had prepared some questions to, she wants to help the audience get to know our guest better, which is something we are terrible at. So, Alana, I'm going to turn to you.
Yeah.
I love questions. It makes me feel important.
A few simple questions. We're going to take you, people are always asking you questions about the Browns and whatnot. So this is going to be all about you. We want to get to know you. All right. So we're going to start really simple. Taylor Swift or Sabrina Carpenter?
Oh, this is going to get me canceled. Oh God. Okay. So Taylor Swift, my biggest beef is her fans terrify me in terms of her as a musical artist. Adore her. She is very talented. I love the whole thing where she redid her album. Mad respect.
Love
She's
it.
a great businesswoman, great artist. Her fans terrify me though. I've seen the videos of people dancing in the theaters when her movie came out. Not for me, hey, do you? Not for me. Taylor Swift, absolutely. And this next take is where things are going to get off the rails. I know Sabrina Carpenter can sing, but the girl, for whatever reason, doesn't want to push her vocals, and it's all whisper singing nowadays. I can't do it.
I hear you.
Sabrina, if somehow this podcast gets you, you are very talented. We all know you can sing. Can you just do it? Can you stop with the whisper? Okay. Just open up the throat. Project, please.
Open up the throat, everybody.
Yes.
Open up the throat. That's the line from today's podcast.
Hey, you got some Dawg Chug points for opening up the throat. Good.
There you go. Open up the throat.
I knew what I was doing.
If you could switch lives with anyone, who would it be and why?
Oh God.
And why is it Andrew Barry right now?
Honestly, if I could do any one of them, it'd probably be Paul DePodesta, considering the fact that I wouldn't have to come into work. Nobody would expect anything from me. All I would have to do is show up with a couple PowerPoints, and everybody would be amazed and worship my intellect. And then just the whole fact of I pretend that I know stuff. You know what I mean? I really feel like he is kind of the modern day George Costanza, where like he's tasked with a very important role, but he's way over his head. He has no idea what he's doing. And for some reason, the owner is just keeping him around. So yeah,
he's Teflon.
Yeah.
He's Teflon.
Yeah, very true. All right. 2 more quick questions for you. What, if you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
That one's tough.
We're here to stump you on the Dawg Chug.
I would
Should we come back to this one?
Well, honestly, I would say invincibility, if anything. I kind of thought about it. Super strength would be cool, but that would get lame after a while. Flying is great because I hate traffic. But the only thing that comes with that is more than likely I'd fly into something and die. Invincibility. Yeah, just
that would be awesome. I'd love to freaking just be great there and be like, oh, what are you doing, motherfucker? Okay, and last but not least, what is your biggest fear or phobia? Don't be embarrassed. There's only 6 people watching.
Okay, so are we talking about irrational fear or like deep, serious, okay. Wow, these are really good questions.
I interview people for a living.
I would say the hardest thing that I have struggled with recently has been public speaking. I know that is very kind of surprising, especially because I do a lot of podcasts. If I'm being honest, the first time that I ever did a podcast, it was here. And I had a few drinks in me because I was very nervous. And I may or may not have gotten so drunk that I kicked myself out of several group chats because I couldn't work Twitter properly. And that was on me. I ended up kicking myself out of group chats, and I was like messaging people like, what is going? I literally could not figure out.
You're just Josh Gordon.
I do it all the time.
You're just
I'm
being
always
like Josh
taking
Gordon
myself
would.
out.
But yeah, no, I've always kind of struggled with that for a while. Hell, anytime I do karaoke, I cannot do it sober. So I would say, public speaking for sure.
Good, very good. That was it. You made it through.
Good job.
Nice job. Well done.
That was nice. That was nice. That was a good wholesome segment.
Chugbot,
I did those.
Chugbot was listening in, and I kind of was wondering,
Yeah?
what do you think about Mac wanting to be invincible? If that was the superpower,
Invisible?
he can pick any superpower. He wants to be invincible. What do you think about that, Chugbot?
Mac, you mustached pansy. Invincibility so those crazy chicks can't break your weepy little heart. Too late. Your psycho ex has already shredded you. You stat-spewing wimp. Bet you'd still cry over a bad date. Lana's got more balls chasing Stefanski.
Ouch. Chugbot,
Jeez.
what the hell has got in you today?
That's vicious, man.
He's getting meaner and meaner every week. He's getting meaner and meaner every week.
I don't
He
know.
gets meaner every week. By the time we kick off,
He was trained only on my personality, Ed's personality, and Roger's personality. So he's like an amalgamation of the three of us. And we are evil fucking people.
We need to get me in there.
Well, we can't
We should
have
have
a not turning into a tiny slut, by the way.
hey,
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Andy, I'm drinking this beer tonight that you chugged.
Yeah.
The jalapeno. Oh man. How did you drink 4
I
of these
can't believe
things?
you did that.
So first of all,
Oh.
I meant to drink 4 of them. I was all set. I was going to do one. I did a video. I'm sure everyone saw it because it did amazing. But I did
Thousands.
3 reasons why the Kenny Pickett move was genius, the trade. And after each one, I did a chug. And I was going to do the 4th one after I wrapped. And I physically, I pivoted like in mid video. I'm like, I can't do a 4th one. It just kept building up. It was jalapeno beer. And it kept getting spicier and spicier. I am a wuss with the hot stuff. So
I can feel it, man. I've had one and I just opened my second and I'm sipping. And it's good. It's really good beer, man.
It is good. Now,
It's really good beer, but you can feel it in your throat, man. The jalapeno. Yeah. I don't know how you drank 3 of them.
In honor of Kenny Pickett, I think at the Muni lot, if he starts a game, which let's be real, he's a Cleveland Brown and they're a shit show. So he will start at least one game. It's going to be awesome. But I think all the chugs in the Muni lot, the day that he starts, need to be with the 2 hands, like little
We
hands,
have got to buy
little
everyone the
hands.
tiny hands.
Tiny
Everyone's got to
hands.
wear the tiny hands.
Tiny hands.
Opening day.
Can we not put that in the universe? Can we not?
It's going to have Matt.
I don't want to see him
have fun.
start a game. Please,
Have fun with it.
Hey,
Just embrace it.
they extended Nick Chubb. Breaking news on Dawg Chug. They extended Nick Chubb.
You're
Are
fucking
you
kidding
sure?
me. You're
Or was
fucking
that-
kidding me. Don't play with me, Roger.
I saw
Don't play
someone-
with me.
I
Well,
saw
and then
Three
we thought you
years-
did say Dawg Chug. He did say Dawg Chug.
3-year extension to Nick Chubb. Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns.
They
Nick
did it?
Hart says, never forget Nick Chubb came 47 yards from rushing a title. Yeah, it happened. Nick Chubb's been signed for 3 years.
Wasn't that in 2021?
Roger, are you
That's old.
reading a tweet from 2021
I think
that
you
you
are.
already posted?
15 minutes ago, man.
Yeah, but
Yeah, look at the date.
Rogers just got scammed basically.
Yeah,
I did.
You did. Because I just.
Oh,
was
my
kind of
God.
under-
Well, it's Dawg Chug. You don't have to apologize. Honestly, nobody expects us to be correct, Roger.
No, but that's
We
awesome
don't
for
do
Dawg Chug.
facts on here.
Yeah, that's why we got Mac on tonight, because he's actually facts and actually tells some things that
Yes.
actually. Hey, Mac, we'll get into it.
I do have my reporter notifications like on,
Yeah,
and I'm
so-
constantly like
Hey,
refreshing.
Mac thought I scooped him.
Yeah, no, I was wow, that's
He's like, what
that's
happened
kind of
to
like
my
that's kind of like
sausage,
the kid a
you
puppy
son of a bitch.
and then throwing said puppy in the lake.
Right.
That just not gonna lie, and it's not your fault, Roger. It's the internet's fault, but that just kind of yeah, Yeah.
Sorry to break in, Roger. Let's just confirm with Chugbot. Chugbot, Roger just announced that Nick Chubb was resigned, extended by the Browns. Is this true?
No extension for Nick Chubb tonight, you deaf old geezer. Roger, you drooling dumbass. Swallowing a fake tweet hook, line, and sinker. Guess those dentist yanks scrambled your last brain cell, you senile hick. Stick to crying for Will Howard and leave the news to the big boys.
Oh my God. Roger has been really beating the drum for Will Howard lately. Mac, do you think that's a good idea, or is Roger just a deaf old geezer drooling dumbass?
Now, in terms of like these quarterbacks, for me, it's Cam Ward and Shador, and then everybody else. When you start going into the day two, I really have. I've been telling people Cam Ward and Shador for me are 1A, 1B. In terms of day two quarterbacks, I would say Jackson Dart and Will Howard are 1A, 1B for me. Preferably, I would like Will Howard, just simply because I think his offense, that he ran at OSU, while not a pro style, is a lot more, I mean, Jackson Dart ran a lot of RPOs, a lot of spread offense, one read. Will Howard ran a lot of play action, and he was damn good at it too. Now, my only concern is, was he just a product of an offense? Is he CJ Stroud, or is he Mac Jones? And that's kind of the biggest question that I have. Because I mean, you have a two-headed monster in the backfield with Judkins and Henderson, and then you get into the best wide receiver in the country, Jeremiah Smith, as well as Ibuka, and it's just kind of like, oh, okay, is it the quarterback, or is it is the system? Now, in terms of the day two guys, I would prefer Howard. Again, just simply because he was the best play action quarterback in this class. So, I would say yes. But again, when you're going into the day two, and I realize I'm elongating the answer here. So bear with me, because I do have a point. But when you're going into day two, the problem with quarterbacks is that they're all reaches. You will have to reach on a quarterback because it is the one position where data and all that positional value, throw that out the window. It does not matter. This is a quarterback that we're talking about, not a defensive end, not a running back, not a wide receiver, not a linebacker. This is a quarterback. This is the most important position in all of football. So you will have to reach for that. Now, if you go into day two and you just expect the quarterback of your choice to fall to you, you might as well just start rolling the dice, because you have no idea where these guys are going to be selected. A lot of people had JJ McCarthy going late first round. Yeah, that didn't happen. People said that Bo Nix was going second round. Yeah, that didn't happen. So you're just playing a huge guessing game. You have the number 2 pick. Just pick the quarterback that you like. Stop with all the analytics and all the guardrails and all the, we need to pick the best player available. Okay, well, the best position available is a quarterback. Yeah. The position that we've been looking for since 1999 is the quarterback. Okay, right. Now people are divided on Baker Mayfield and what he did here. But the reality is that he was the best quarterback for this franchise since they came back. And frankly, I find that a little sad.
Yeah.
Because he was only here for what, 3.5 years in total? Because he missed some time in 2021, and then he didn't play his whole rookie year. So you have the number 2 pick. Just go get your guy. Stop overthinking it. This was the worst offense in the league. They were dead last in points per game. They were dead last in passing yards per attempt. They had 13 games where the offense had negative EPA. Can we just get our quarterback. And Eddie said it best on here. You're digging through the garbage of free agency. The best quarterback available right now is a guy where the past 2 teams got sick of him.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like, we're talking about bringing Russell Wilson in here to Cleveland. Ask Pittsburgh how they feel about Russell Wilson. Yeah, he was on a playoff run, but was it him or was it the defense like it's always been?
Mac, when I call Pittsburgh and ask them about Russell Wilson, do I only call like the area code that's like in Pittsburgh proper, or like the surrounding counties if they have different area code? Do I have to call those people too? Like, what constitutes if we call Pittsburgh? Like,
I mean, you can go all the way from Altoona.
Do we have to touch all 3 rivers?
No, do it. I've yet to find somebody. I've yet to find a Steelers fan that legitimately wants Russell Wilson back. You know how bad that they hate Russell Wilson, that they're willing to overpay for a 40-year-old quarterback that's addicted to hallucinogenics. And yes, I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers. Like that in itself, that they're willing to put up with his BS and the fact that Aaron Rodgers knows where he wants to go, but he's holding out and he wants to put on a show for Pat McAfee. And this is an organization that has dealt with no nonsense for a while. And they're one of those kind of blue collar, old fashioned, in terms of how the Rooneys run their team, but they're willing to put up with that BS just so they can officially move off of Russell Wilson. That's how much they hate them. And that's going to be our QB1. That's going to be the guy where we're just saying, oh, hey, we're going to pay him for 2 years. And then we're not going to draft a quarterback at 2. We're so content with Russell Wilson that we're not going to draft a quarterback at 2. That is, I don't understand why we're so terrified.
There's no way they're going to take Russell Wilson. First of all, I don't think they're going to take Russell Wilson. I'll be shocked if they do. No. But if they do, there's no way that's going to stop them from taking a quarterback at 2, in my mind. Unless
I hope not. I hope not. But we're also looking at a regime right now that hasn't even whispered into the wide receiver market and free agency.
Here's the thing. I guess if you're right about that, if they take Russell Wilson, if he's the quarterback, and then I don't know, maybe they go someone late, maybe they move up and get Dart or something. It's not going to work. We're going to be probably the worst team in the league next year. Everyone's going to get fired, and we're going to have the top pick in the draft next year, which will at least be something we could get excited about. Hopefully next year's draft class would be better in that scenario, but I don't think any of that's going to happen. We'll see what's going to happen. I think Mike Crutchfield, friend of the show, said that the mustache guy's wrong. Keep thinking about it because you can't get it wrong. This could kill the franchise if they swing and miss. Get the best player, period. He's a get the best player guy. What do you say to that?
Okay, so here's mustache guy. Here's the well, I am a mustache guy. I will say that you guys knew me when
Tom Selleck or Burt Reynolds.
Obviously I'm not going to disrespect Burt Reynolds.
Okay.
That's a legend.
But I would put those 2 in the finals, though. I'd put those 2 in the finals.
That's true.
Are you comparing your flag football quarterback to Tom Brady? No, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm Burt
sell
Reynolds.
Tom Selleck short.
Okay.
That's all.
But no, in terms of best player available, here's the thing. It's better to take the quarterback and swing and miss than it is to stick in QB purgatory. And if you dip into the free agent market and you are heavily relying on Russell Wilson, you are going to end up in just mediocre land. Because here's the thing. Look at how the Browns did this year, right? 3-14. They had the worst offense in the NFL, but still needed luck to land that number 2 pick. You have Russell Wilson. You have a chance of going 500.
I know.
And then now you're stuck in the middle of the draft. And then
we're going to get it. I can't wait.
You have to trade away the first round picks that you haven't had since 2021. it really just blows my mind, because if you swing and miss on a rookie quarterback and it blows up in your face, then you can tank. Then you can say, okay, that didn't work. We're just going to pull an Arizona Cardinals, okay, like they did with Josh Rosen, and they threw him to the Wolves. They ended up with the number 1 pick. They got Kyler Murray. Now, has it worked out for him? I mean, it got him to a playoff game, but the Browns could very easily do that thing with a rookie. Now, if you ride the Russell Wilson train, he's going to get you at least 5 wins. That's not getting you the number 1 pick.
Yeah. Well, Mac, you bring up every point. What's so great about you? You're like me. You go on a show, and you got so much information, and you say it in a nice, concise way that you hit a lot of the spit, sip, chug, which is great. But but you didn't overdo it. You put your foot in the water. He set it up nicely, Andy. That's why I cannot wait to go into our favorite segment, spit, sip, chug. And when it's time, Andy, let me know.
All right. And I want to point out, Mac just told Mike Crutchfield to go fuck yourself. So.
Yeah,
basically.
I did not say that. If that is actually his last name, that is actually a sick last name.
Yeah, no, he's awesome.
Sick means good for all the kids out there. Sick means good.
Chris, more about getting down from.
Lucas from the Commanders. Yeah. So here's the thing that a lot of people don't understand when it comes to the offensive tackle room for the Browns. The Browns very much, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but the Browns very much believe that DeJuan Jones is their franchise left tackle. They will give him another season to prove that he is healthy. Now, yes, you can say injuries piled up for him 2 years ago in his rookie season. He had the knee injury. He had to get a scope, recently. But the fractured ankle, that's a freak accident, right? You snap a bone. I firmly believe that when DeJuan Jones is on the field and he's playing left tackle and he's healthy, he's probably the best left tackle that we've had in a very long time. And I firmly believe that he's better than Jed Wills, because anybody who gives effort is better than Jed Wills.
I'm better than Jed Wills.
Yes. Yeah, I confidently say that. Now, in terms of Lucas, he played both left and right tackle. For
swing tackle, as they call it.
Yeah, swing tackle. Good. See, Ed, you're learning.
I'm listening to everybody out there. I'll say this: me and Mac, we got a history. We got a, it's a fun history, colorful history. But I'll say this: everybody out there, Dog Pound Daily, Mac, you do a great job. As much, what I'm saying. We used to have a closer relationship, but we're getting there. But I want to say you are the real deal, and you are the one that I look to when it comes to Browns. And I will say one thing: your take on Shedeur Sanders at number 2 is the only opinion that is right.
Ooh, yeah. No, we will get into that later. But in terms of Lucas, I really thought that he was a great signing. That way they don't have to take because this draft class for offensive tackles is very shallow. You got a good bunch of top end talent. But the Browns flat out need to address other positions before they even get to tackle. So, he's 33, he's played both sides, and he's going to be ready to go, and we don't want something to happen to our offensive tackles. We don't want, in heavy formation, yeah, sure, take the field. But in terms of everyday down, we do not want to see that guy on the field, because we want DeJuan Jones and Jack Conklin starting every game. I will knock on wood furiously, because I'm not going to have any of that happen. They will start all 17 games, both of them. But in terms of the signing, I like it. It gives them depth. And for 2 seasons in a row, I think all Browns fans can agree, it got ugly, late in the season when we had to watch guys like Jerron Christian and James Hudson, take the field. And nothing against those guys, but they're just
Hudson had one good game at Pittsburgh. He had one good game at Pittsburgh. I think that was it. And then,
that was it.
That was it. Because there was a little bit of, there was hope for Hudson, and then just there wasn't anybody else when we realized he couldn't. And I think the problem with Jed Wills is it's not the fact that we recognize that he sucks. It's recognizes, okay, we should have better options, I think, going into this year even than realizing with him. But I don't know.
Yeah, it was just one of those things to where they just didn't want to face reality that it was, and it was so maddening. And you know what? I'm not going to sit here and take my victory lap because I've been screamed at for my takes on Jed Wills, and I've been calling him a lazy bum since since he had that false start in Pittsburgh and he didn't even have his chin strapped. I mean that. Yeah, he's wildly maddening because in terms of frame, he's your prototypical.
He looks the part.
He looks the part. Okay, and it goes back to the blind side. Looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane, and that's Jed Wills.
Yes,
missed assignments, getting blown off the ball. Lack of effort.
This is the first time you came on the Dawg Chug, and you've been very consistent with that. And yes, Jedrick Wills. It was interesting on that commercial with Baker Mayfield as a rookie that he was playing video games on the big screen.
Selling the stuff.
That was because they probably were like, man, this guy loves video games, and I think unfortunately that didn't work out for.
He also loves street racing and smoking weed in Westlake.
Did we all forget about that? Did we forget about that? I didn't forget about that.
All right, we're going to move it along to the newest segments come to the Dawg Chug. Ed, I'm going to turn it to you.
That is right, Andy and audience. It's time for rapid fire. Mac, I'm going to put you under rapid fire. You have 3 seconds to answer a yes or no, and only a yes or no until you get to the final question. Elfman, I got to give a shout out to Elfman. This is to Roger. So, Elfman did it correctly. Christian did it correctly. I know I'm probably forgetting somebody else, but we've had very limited few that could handle this game. Yes or no, under 3 seconds. Mac, are you ready for rapid fire?
Yes.
Myles Garrett is all about the money.
No.
Browns must draft QB at number 2.
Yes.
Browns should re-sign Nick Chubb.
Yes.
Andrew Berry is a horrible drafter.
Yeah. Yes.
Kevin Stefanski should pick the quarterback.
Yes.
Fans that want Abdul Carter don't know ball.
Yes.
Travis Hunter is not an elite wide receiver.
No.
Andy will get booed at Browns games for having a brown cyber truck.
No.
Roger needs better hearing aids.
No.
Ed has made Dawg Chug great again.
No, because Dawg Chug was always great.
Thank you. The Dawg Chug needs a biological female.
Okay, how am I supposed? All right, see, buffoonery, erroneous buffoonery.
And finally, Lana or Heather.
What do you? That's not a yes or no question.
Right, I said until the final question.
Right.
Yes, both of us. No, I was kidding.
So we said, who did we say?
Lana, because she's here. I'm not
going
to. Right here next to me, I'm not going to say the other person. That's just rude.
Mac, you're off rapid fire. Thank you. That was fun. I'll say this, Andy. He was not. You didn't follow the rules, and fair enough. I will say one thing. He recovered nicely after the my question and did a nice job. That was one of the best ones, Mac. Thank you for that. But you didn't follow the rules. You didn't. And Lana, you're getting points tonight. No offense to Heather, but she's not here, and you're getting because you're here, and that's what we appreciate on the Dawg Chug. Because let's be real, if this show is about quality and about patrons watching and everything out there, look. We're not going to win that race, but we are going to be good at what we are. And Andy, I can't wait, Dawg. Bot or Chug Bot or whatever AI, we got the best technology out there.
Yeah, we are the most innovative podcast in Cleveland.
Not the best, maybe production wise, but we're going to be the best intellectually. And when AI kicks our butt, we might not even be here, Andy. We might not.
The company that helped us set up ChugBot, we actually went and firebombed their entire operation because we don't want other podcasts, going to them and getting their own version of ChugBot. That would be terrible. We can't have that.
No.
So we murdered every one of them to ensure it didn't happen. And ChugBot helped us come up with a way to murder them where there'd be left no evidence. They'll never catch us.
Heather's on assignment tonight, everyone. Heather's on assignment tonight.
She's being tested.
Speaking of how innovative we are, ChugBot, how do you think Mac did during rapid fire?
Oh, God.
All right, Andy, Chugbot summing up Mac's rapid fire performance tonight. That mustache nerd took Lana's grilling and spew takes like a stat spewing try hard. He nailed Berry's drafting flops and Carter fans' ignorance. Sharp calls, but fumbled hard saying Andy won't get booed. Cybertruck's a boo magnet, and picking Stefanski for QB duty. Dumb as hell. Garrett's money dodge was naive, and Lana over Heather was a simp move. He bored us stiff earlier, but rapid fire showed some guts. Still a whiny punk overall. Solid C grade. You basement lush. Max a mixed bag. What's next?
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Oh,
Can I defend myself? Like, really quickly.
that's
So if Andy drove a normal Cybertruck, I would say yes. Lots of middle fingers, lots of boo burns. But it's a Browns wrap truck. And I was personally tailgating with him last season, and everybody was asking for it. I did not hear a single negative comment. So that's 1 L for Chugbot. Number 2, I'm trying to think of like all the questions that I was asked here. In terms of Stefanski should pick the QB, absolutely he should. Because, and Lana, you're not going to like this.
Oh my gosh, we're going to talk about this in a minute. So
this is
just get the concise Chugbot version under 100 words because we're going to spit some Chug and you nailed it.
But yeah, it's the last check that we haven't given Stefanski. You know, he needs to get his pick here because we need to find out whether or not he can pick quarterbacks and he can develop them. And you know, I think that is a gamble that we should do with our head coach. You know, you think he's the guy, give him the keys. And then don't call me a simp. All right. I was being polite. You know, the person right next to me, you know, it would be rude for me to pick the other person, and you can't call me a simp when I have a person. All right. You can't be doing that. You can't be doing that. And also I would like to ask, when did you change it from Baby Mansion to Chugbot? Because it used to be Baby Mansion because
Baby Manch was when my wife was pregnant and we were able to read the thoughts of Baby Manch. We've evolved from then. We've gotten better and we developed an AI based on the three of us. It's actually watched every episode of Dawg Chug, even the ones when we were part of Network 2 and 6. So it knows everything we've done on this stupid show. And that's all it knows. So it's quite amazing just to have that, to be able to like, you know, give its impression.
Wait, hold on. So like everything?
It knows our personalities, it knows everything about us, and it knows the Dawg Chug, and that's all it knows.
And that would explain the ex-girlfriend comments. Okay. All right.
Hey, hey Chugbot.
Well.
Bill asked if Roger's sleeping. Do you want to comment on this?
Roger, you deaf old geezer. Quit napping on us. Your top 10 mustache nicknames sucked. And that fake Chud tweet made you a laughing stock. Will Howard ain't here to save your sorry hide. Yell something, you senile hick. Or they're cutting you off.
Oh my God. First of all, Chugbot, you do not have the power to cut Roger off. Okay. He's been here a lot longer than you have.
Yes.
Asshole. Sorry about that, everyone.
You created it.
At least I'm not artificially intelligent.
Today, I had Chugbot talk about the new defensive tackle signing, and oh my God, people were so angry at it. And I'm like, it's not a real take. It's our dumb asses. Calm down. Whatever.
Passionate people.
You know what we need? We need a robot in a screen, like the movie with iRobot. We need one of those in the screen. We need an actual droid. We can get C-3PO if you want.
Well, I'll tell you what, Roger, that we are the most innovative podcast. So as soon as that technology becomes available, I will make sure that the Dawg Chug covers you.
Am I the only person that has seen the Terminator movies? Like this is a wildly bad idea.
Have you seen the Dawg Chug before? I think
it's all fun and games, and then Skynet launches, and then we're all screwed.
Look, I don't want robots to take over, but I do want robots to make fun of you because it makes
robots will help our viewership. So I'm all down
hilarious.
for it.
Fair.
Unfortunately, this is going to be the end. The robots start by making fun of you, and then they finish by taking over the world, and we all die. But whatever. I mean, we're going to have Russell Wilson as our quarterback, so fuck it.
Oh God.
Oh, that's right, Cleveland.
God, those Subway sandwiches suck.
All right,
They're
with
so
that,
bad.
Ed, I'm going to turn it to you for our final segment.
That's right. That's right. It is time for our segment that makes the show the Dog Chug. It is the essence of the Dog Chug. It is Spit, Sip, Chug, a game with so much acclaim. And yes, Lana, who gave it its name?
You.
Thank you. That's right. Spit, Sip, Chug. I will say a statement. It is a statement, not a question. If you heavily agree with that statement, you will chug. If you vehemently disagree, you will spit on the floor and make your wife clean it up like Andy does. Or if you are like Roger, and it is up to Mac tonight, can Roger sip or do you want him to be not on the fence? Because that hurts the boys, if you know what I mean. Are you giving that option away tonight? It's up to you, Mac.
Well, no, I mean, everything's not all black and white.
All right,
you know,
all right. He's
you
giving
can
you a
sip.
giving you a lifeline.
Sip.
Giving you, okay, fine. He can
Yeah,
sip. All right.
He can sip.
Fair enough. And we'll start with you, Max, since you're a guest of honor. And that first statement being, a little fun here, trading for Kenny Pickett was a solid move.
Hawk piss, spit on that thing. No, absolutely not. It was not a good move. Kenny Pickett did not have a positive TD to interception ratio until, he game managed for Philly. It's not a good idea. We saw what Kenny Pickett was. We played against him, and the maddening part about it is that he stunk. He would have games of like 44% completion, and we would still lose to Kenny Pickett. Hold on, I have the tweet from his 3 games, and it is maddening to think about that you would throw a 5th round pick for him. Now, if you want to swap, him for DTR straight up and call it a day, that's fine. I guess if you want to experiment for a QB3, but here's his stats for his 3 game against the Browns: 49.4 completion percentage, 174.3 yards per game, and a 71.2 passer rating. And the part that really makes me upset about all this is not the fact that they did it, right? Because I get it. You want to rebuild the QB room. Redacted isn't going to be healthy next year. So you got to have 3 brand new guys, right? But to sit here and say, oh, well, he's a former 1st round pick, and he won 15 games as a starter, and there might be something there. Stop pissing in my ear and tell me that it's raining. Okay. There's a reason why the Steelers didn't even bother. It was so bad, he didn't even get to the point to where they thought maybe discuss his 5th-year option. That's how bad Kenny Pickett was in Pittsburgh. And we're just saying, oh, it was just the offense. Well, newsflash, when has the offense ever been good in Cleveland? So, yeah, spit, literally the fattest loogie in terms of spitting at this comment. It's disgusting.
Okay, fair enough. And with that, the audience wants to know, Roger, are you awake? And we'll go to you.
Man, you know what I said? Mac just touched on it. I'm spitting on it. I'm waiting for October when they start saying, let's see what we have in Kenny Pickett. And my head's going to explode. It's going to blow right off my shoulders. Let's see what we have in Kenny Pickett. Fuck, man, what are we doing? We got Kenny Pickett. We got Russell Wilson coming in town tomorrow. Man, yeah, I give up, man. I give up. You know what? You know what? I'm chugging because it tells me they're tanking, and we're tanking for our 2026. So I'm going to turn around and chug on it. So best thing we can do is sign Kenny Pickett and Russell Wilson and see if we can bring in, bring in somebody else that blows. Bring DTR back. DJ Walker. Do that. Tank for Arch. I'm chugging.
Okay. All right.
This is a
Well,
bad time to say that Arch won't be available till 2027.
Probably be a good time to say that.
okay, well, Ohio State, Texas, game 1 next year. I'm actually gonna sip and be a bitch. The thing we make fun of Roger for, I'm actually gonna sip. And shout out Lysandra. Steelers sloppy seconds is the word. Shout out.
Devin Bush ain't too bad, but yeah, she's got a point.
Yeah.
Force of Nature, shout out.
Hi, Force Nature.
Yeah. And then Ethan checks in. So,
Hey,
you know, so
Oh.
shout out, Ethan. So the reason I'm
Hell of a
sipping
reference, Ethan. Hell of a reference.
Yeah,
Love
it's a move. It's a move. Is it a solid move? I don't know. I don't want to just, I could just spit and say it. Obviously, it's a move. It's a transaction. I get that. So I'm being facetious there, but it's not solid, but it's a move. And you need to remake the quarterback room. And if he honestly is quarterback 3, look, the Browns go through 3-4 quarterbacks a year. If he's third at the beginning of the year, when most teams don't even address really a backup quarterback, and up until recently they had their number one guy and really didn't have much after that. I know it's changing now a little bit with all these injuries, and teams are realizing that you kind of have to, just like the running back position. It used to be you have that stud, but now it's a stable of 2 or 3. And I think maybe the quarterback position isn't. You still want the franchise. You still want the Josh Allen or you still want that, obviously. But there's situations where you draft Shador or even what Jaden Daniels did last year, and you realize that okay, maybe they're not going to be the Tom Brady or the Peyton Manning, but I don't know. They could be a Phillip Rivers, who was just Phillip Rivers good. And you know what? He had tough luck and didn't make it to the Super Bowl. But you know what? You look at Phillip Rivers' number, you take that. That's a franchise quarterback. So, there's people like that don't get win like that. But it's good enough. And I think in Cleveland, it would be good enough. So I see your point, Max. So I got to sip on that, though. Andy.
Look, first of all, there's reason that this was a brilliant move. You're all missing it. I have season tickets, so I have to go to all these fucking games, and it's sometimes it's hard. Like when I went to the Miami game this year, can you even imagine the night I was expecting to be in for? And it was not fun.
I sat in the rain. It was terrible.
Yeah, but you know how fun it's gonna be to like buy a Kenny Pickett jersey and then take my daughter's like mittens from when she was 3 and stuff some things in there and like just kind of have these tiny little hands, and then the whole day I'll just walk around like that, and every Browns fan's gonna like come up to me and like hug me and cheer for me, and I'm gonna get so much attention, more than I got for the stupid Cybertruck, the obnoxious Cybertruck. So just for that reason, just the fact that we could make jokes like that, we traded for redacted. It was the worst move that's ever happened, and if anyone thinks the Browns are gonna be good, the ripple effect from that it's gonna be bad in the short term. We all know that. We can't undo it. There's nothing that's going to save it from happening. The Browns are going to suck in the short term. So let's at least go out and have some goddamn fun. And I'm going to have fun with Pickett. So I love the move.
Yeah.
5th round pick. Go ahead and waste it just because it'll make me happier to be at Browns games. I'll look forward to it instead of dreading it. And that's all you're looking for. So I'm chugging.
I can't wait.
Wow.
I'm in.
I want to chug after.
I'll just chug with you.
Okay.
I started last year. You guys are a year late. I've been having a blast for a year now.
Yeah. Go Lions. Lana.
I was actually going to spit on that. That's my spit at the moment.
Okay.
Wasn't a big deal. But no, I kind of like Lysandra said, my initial thought was when I heard about the Russell Wilson thing, I'm not going to talk about that right now. All I thought was, why are we moving Pittsburgh trash here? What are we doing? Like, why are we taking this money that we should be looking at every single move that we make right now and not making trash moves? And I feel like we're just making trash moves. And I want a freaking man whose hands go around the ball. Okay.
Wow. Hey now. All right. Size matters. Size matters.
Size matters.
Okay.
I speak for all the ladies.
Yeah. All right.
Size matters. No tiny hands.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, we'll move to statement number 2, and we do want to keep Roger away.
How many points did you get for that?
I already said something about opening my throat and all that, so there's 2.
Yeah.
Thank you for playing, Heather.
All right. Roger, start with you. The Browns choosing to reload instead of rebuild will ultimately end up hurting them in the long term, whatever the point may be. The Browns obviously this year they're reloading. I wouldn't say this. They could have traded Miles. They could have done a lot of shit, unloaded it, and rebuild. But no, I think this is a reload. And do you think it'll end up hurting them? Roger, go ahead.
Am I allowed to sip?
Yes, you are.
I'm sipping because I think it's one of the 6 of 1. a half dozen of the other. Will it end up hurting the Browns? I think it's going to end up hurting. Right now, this front office is everything they do is in it's desperation and it's in like disaster cleanup, like DEFCON 5 mop up. You know what I mean? Trying to fix the $230 million mistake. You know, and it's just one bad decision after another, after another, after another. So I think ultimately none of them, Browns, and when I say I mean ownership gives a shit because they're going to build a big giant dome out in Brook Park that everybody will be sparkly and nickel write poems about, and all they know that the Brown fandom will jump on board of this big beautiful dome, and you know, I think they're just biding their time until then. You know, I don't think it'll end up hurting the current people in charge. Yeah, you know, they couldn't afford a rebuild. They had to try to reload, and I don't think it's going to work. You know, unless Haslam gave them until next year to find a quarterback. You know what I mean? We're just gonna. I'm on board with Andy. Let's just have fun because it's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly. There's going to be a lot of disappointed people around October. You know, after the Guardians win the World Series, it's going to get really, bleak in Cleveland.
Nice. I am going to sip. I was looking for my answer to the statement, but I think the mark of a genius is to be able to take a statement and break it down to its basic element, its core principle. I've been watching a lot of Suits right now. I don't know, Meghan Markle was in. I've been watching a lot of Suits, a lot of courtroom action. And here's the deal right now. The statement saying, reload or rebuild, it doesn't matter. The answer, you have to sit because it doesn't matter. The only answer is you have to get the quarterback right. And Mac and I, we happen to agree that taking the quarterback at 2 is the highest. It's the lowest risk, highest reward. Shador Sanders can turn into a franchise quarterback, or it could be really good. You're taking him at 2. People out there think it's too risky then to take, not take Abdul Carter or not take Travis Hunter. They think that's the risk. They think that honestly that's the risk. We look at it this way: you have to get the quarterback. If you get the quarterback, you can either reload or rebuild. It doesn't matter. You get the quarterback within 1 year. You can be like the Commanders and go from 4-13 all the way to the championship game. Mac and I know this. It's almost better to keep swinging and missing at quarterbacks than it is to try to maintain a squad that's competitive. Now, being competitive is better for the fans because if you keep swinging and missing like the Browns did, you'd be 3-13 every year. Oh yeah, that's what we were. But now we're just staying in mediocrity, which we make fun of the Steelers for being 9-8 every year. I wish we could get to that. That's actually mediocrity. What the Browns fans are arguing is we shouldn't take the quarterback because we don't want to be mediocre. We were 3-14 last year, you fucking morons. If anybody fucking says Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter, you are a fucking moron. And then you get on Twitter and X and you say, I know ball. You know what? Mac knows ball. You've been talking about fat guys in the trenches and winning that way. You know why? Because when we had Baker Mayfield, you had a competent quarterback. You could talk about fixing that D-line, and we'd always argue, but you were right. When you have a competent quarterback, you can talk about the defense. Until you have a quarterback, I don't want to hear all these fucking experts on these, different platforms that, you know what? You ain't the mainstream. The ones that you go after all the time, you ain't them. So don't be badmouth them because your opinions aren't as good as theirs, and it doesn't really matter because until you get the quarterback, it doesn't fucking matter. Andy.
I love you, Ed. Thank you.
Yes.
Ed will have that clipped and put on Twitter before the show's end.
Yes, pretty much.
I'm just tired. I'm tired of it. People
Ed,
they fight
that
on
might be your
Twitter.
best segment.
I want to name names.
Clip.
I want to fucking name names. I may lose my mind in 2 weeks, and people are like, who the fuck is this guy ranting about me? You're nobody. Well, guess what? Your opinions suck dick. I'm tired of it. Andy, please take the mic.
Well, Sandra says, Ed making Dawg Chug great again.
Ed is making Dawg Chug great again.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. So look, I think that there's a pretty good chance, we have a lame duck head coach. Sorry, Lana, and a lame duck general manager.
You're in trouble now.
Maybe one of them has confidence. I don't know. But I think the reality was the Browns are in such a terrible position, nobody competent would take the job. So instead of bringing in some hack that might have like a 5% chance of proving themselves, the strategy of our ownership right now is just let's try and get our cockpit in a better position next year so that we can hire more competent people than we would be able to attract this year. I do genuinely believe there's something to that. Maybe I'm giving the Haslams too much credit, but the point is, yes, I wanted them to acquire as many draft picks as possible because, like I said, the ripple effects from the disaster of trading for the wrong guy and giving everything that they gave redacted is so bad that we're going to be still dealing with it, for probably the next year, 2 years is probably the reality. So I don't want to try and like win now because I know we can't. We're just, it's not going to work. I think everyone's going to get fired. We're going to hire new people. I would love to be able to attract those people by having like draft picks. The problem is the guys making the decisions don't want to get fired. So they're doing anything they can to save their job, which I don't think they can. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll find out. But yeah, I would have loved, if Myles Garrett got traded and then we had to like trade Ward and then we had to trade, whoever, the other dominoes that fell. Yes, we're going to be a terrible team, but I would rather go down that path and have hope for like.
We had a guy named Sashi Brown that did that. He was good at doing that.
Yeah, I would. Sashi Brown, come back to the Browns right now and make the decisions.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't.
Sorry.
Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Mac,
Ricky Bobby.
The problem I'm having is I just don't see an answer out of next year that's not pain. Like next year is going to be pain. It's going to be painful to go to these games outside of getting to make fun of Kenny Pickett. That's the only good part. I'd rather watch good football.
You sound like me, Andy. You sound like me.
Yeah, no, I'm whatever. I would have loved if that. I was happy to see they salvaged everything, but it just feels like it's thin and I don't know, whatever. Hopefully it works out. I'm a homer. I'll buy in, but I'm not feeling it right now. And, I don't think Sanders is the answer, unfortunately. Like they'll probably draft him and I hope he's great. I'll be his biggest fan. I think he's very similar to Baker, right? Like very accurate, takes too many sacks, undersized.
I agree.
But hopefully Sanders, he did bring a couple programs, back to amazing football. Maybe he could do that for the Browns. I think that's too much pressure to put on the kid. I don't think it's going to happen, but I hope it does. I don't see it. I would have much rather had all the draft, all that ammunition. It was so exciting when we went into that year with who was the general manager that took over for that. Whatever. We had so many draft picks. When we took Baker, we took Nick Chubb, we took Ward.
Dorsey.
That was such an exciting time to be a Browns fan because the future seemed so bright.
The Super Bowl is always the draft, and if you have that much firepower, it's like it is fun.
It has to be able to make sense that we can get there. And right now, this is not a time where I'm feeling that. Like it's like little prayer of glimmer of hope. Probably not going to happen. This will be the year that I don't put like the stupid $50 bet on the Browns win the Super Bowl because it'll pay me $20,000 because I know it's a waste of $50, that's whatever. Point is, I feel pretty strongly about this. I would have preferred. I know they couldn't trade Garrett and like deal with it from a cap perspective. So that's probably, maybe that's why they signed him. I don't know. It just seems like we're on a negative trajectory and I don't like that. I want to be in a positive trajectory. So I would have liked the ammunition. So I'm chugging. It's a long way. I'm chugging. Sorry for the word salad.
Roger, he put you to shame tonight.
I'm thirsty.
Yeah.
Did you call on me?
Yeah, you are next.
I'm sipping.
Okay, well, okay.
I'll be quick and painless here. Reloading, rebuilding, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. It's the Browns choosing reload instead of rebuild will ultimately end up hurting them. We're always in pain. Okay, we should be called the Cleveland Pain Browns. We are just all pain, right? It doesn't matter what we do. We all agree we have to have a quarterback. We are going through this pain of that contract $230 million, the worst decision ever made in Browns history and probably NFL in history, if you really want to get down to it. So I do feel like everything that's happening right now is a target to Kevin Stefanski. I feel like every decision they're making is lining it up so he gets fired. That's just my personal opinion. Since we've been talking a little bit about firing the head coach.
So you do hope he goes.
I feel like you can't bring Kenny Pickett in. You can't give him Kenny Pickett and expect him to turn around. What's he going to do? Give him fucking bigger hands? He can't do that shit.
He's
not Jesus Christ, for God's sakes.
He doesn't even need big hands. He just needs like medium-sized hands, like normal-sized hands.
But everything they do, I'm like, you are trying to get my man fired. You're not giving him the tools he needs to make this team successful. You're not. You're not.
Lana, are you hoping Kevin goes to? Are you hoping Kevin's next job's in a warm climate city?
Yes, I want to go tropical.
Okay,
Lana and Kevin will be in Tampa in about 11 months.
Yes.
Packing up my bikini.
Jesus was coaching a game. He won 2 games with PJ Walker and DTR. Some guy said, "Who does that guy think he is? Jesus Christ?" He said, "No, he thinks he's Kevin Stefanski." Stefanski can win with guys that are nobodies, man. Who was the one dude that went to the Raiders that we picked up a day before the game? Then he left.
Mullins. Nick Mullins.
Nick Mullins. He almost won a game for us, but we played. Yeah, I mean, it's not Stefanski, man. A lot of side pieces. The only reason I still have an interest in the Cleveland Browns. If it wasn't for Stefanski, I'd really be irate about. I mean, all right, go ahead, Ed. We got to get to him anyway.
Yeah, it's cool. It's Mac. You're on this one. What are you doing here?
I'm definitely spitting there. You know what nobody wants to talk about. When people talk about positive things about Andrew Berry, they always say, "Oh, well, he manipulates the cap well." I'm here to tell you, no, he's really bad at borrowing money. Because here's the thing, we look at these restructures. Oh, well, he freed up so much cap right now. No, all you're doing is kicking the can down the road. And it's the reason why they couldn't trade Myles Garrett. And that's my biggest problem with this front office is not the moves that they make. It's the lies that they tell us after the moves that they make. Because they sat here and told us, okay, we want Myles to be in our organization for the rest of his career. Now, I can't definitively prove that, but they couldn't trade him because of his dead cap. And until we understand the dead cap, which it's not the money that we're paying towards the player, it's the money that's written in Sharpie in the books. And the problem with the Browns right now on why they can't rebuild is because there is dead money every single year. Right now, they're dealing with $50 million, and that's not even touching, the possibility of a Myles Garrett trade. That's not even touching, the $172 million that we are owed to a certain quarterback. So they cannot rebuild.
Which one, Mac? Which one? I'm confused. It wasn't.
It's the one for his Achilles for the second time.
Okay.
Now, my biggest grief here with everybody saying rebuild. Okay, well, Myles Garrett restructured his contract. David Njoku restructured his contract. Denzel Ward restructured his contract. And we can go on and on and on with each player that has shifted dead money down the line. So they couldn't rebuild if they tried, because the second that they liquidate the assets is the second that their cap flexibility goes away. So they have to reload. Now, I will say this. I don't know if you guys listen to Cleveland Browns Daily with Nathan Zagura and Bo Bishop, but they use this term life raft when they talk about the number 2 pick. Here's the thing. Everything that they're doing right now, it does not matter if they hit on the quarterback.
Right.
And you have a chance to hit on the quarterback. Now, you can talk about all the draft experts that say, "Oh, well, I have this grade for this guy, and he's projected in the second round." Rah, 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 rah. Who cares? Okay, it's the draft. It's a coin flip.
Yep.
Okay, Mel Kiper put his job on the line for Jimmy Clausen.
Yep.
And with my dad being a Notre Dame fan, I watched Jimmy Clausen live. I thought he was the real deal. Yeah. Ask the Carolina Panthers.
He was supposed to win 2 Heismans.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Ron. Never. That was Ron
Panthers.
Powell. Yeah. Remember? And then you had Ron Powless too. He was supposed to be really good. You've had some Notre Dame quarterbacks that obviously Joe Montana.
And funny enough, what did the Panthers get out of Jimmy Clausen? They got the number 1 overall pick, ended up selecting Cam Newton, and Cam Newton led them to multiple playoffs, including a Super Bowl. So why not just take the swing? Because worst case scenario, you're just going to end up right at the top of the order where you already are. And you can't, there's no other way out of this, right? You can't go out in free agency. We tried trading for a, big name quarterback. How'd that work out?
Right.
You know, the most successful quarterback here since 1999 is a guy that you selected number 1 overall. Now, did he work out? No, for a variety of reasons, some of which was his own. But he was the best quarterback that you've had since 1999. And ask any Browns fan that isn't clinically insane.
I love Tim Couch.
And they will tell you that they will pick Baker Mayfield over any single quarterback that's been through this door since 1999. And that's how it's got to be. You got to find your guy. You got to pick him. You got to swing. Because, could it not work out and blow up in their face? Sure. Same with every other move that they've made since coming back to Cleveland. But if it hits, hits.
See, Mac,
we're good.
We say that
none of it matters.
I was a little bit facetious when I said about Tim Couch. I knew obviously you meant Baker Mayfield. I would put Baker Mayfield number 1, but Tim Couch, former number 1 pick overall from Kentucky, and the knock on him was always that his team sucked or whatever. I honestly believe this. You put Tim Couch on like the 2020 team, the 2023 team, or whatever like that. I think we're rocking and rolling, and we're competing for an AFC Championship game. I'm not saying Super Bowl, but and that's the thing about like some of these early quarterbacks, and the reason why I get mad at some of the excuses that like the Deshaun Watson people make. Deshaun Watson is on the Browns team that Joe Flacco went and lit it up with, and I don't care all the excuses. You get paid. You're supposed to do what Flacco can do, and that's what elite. Look at Jalen Hurts. Look at his numbers. Look at Patrick Mahomes. Look at Josh Allen. You're supposed to put up those fantasy numbers every week. It's not just, oh my God, 289 yards and 4 or 3 touchdowns. That's really good, but no, it should be 350 and like 4. And like that's what a franchise quarterback is when you're getting paid like that. And that's my kind of thing with Cleveland. It's like we set the bar so low, and Shedeur Sanders at number 2. It's not like the Tim Couch days where you're paying $50 million. Picking number 2, they're cheap contracts now. They're slotted. It doesn't hurt you. You're picking in the top 2, Cleveland. We always say, hey, to get these top 2 quarterbacks, you have to suck. Well, we went through 3 and 14. Do you really want to go 3 and 14? I say you take the swing at Shedeur. If he sucks and we happen to be 3 and 14, we'd be picking again anyways. But to pick Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter just to go 3 and 14 next year because you're still scoring 15 points a game because you don't have a quarterback, how does that help you?
Okay.
Right. I got to ask Max something. May I? Can I jump in here?
Jump in. Ask me anything.
All right. I understand the thought of, all right, you got a shot at a quarterback. It's the only way out. But all right, there's 2 quarterbacks at the top of the draft. If you want one of them, you might have to move up to the first round. Now that guy does nothing that you plan on doing. They rebuilt the staff to run Kevin Stefanski's offense, to run play action. Cam Ward has never taken a snap from under center. He's never turned his back to the defense. You draft him, and now are you, A, going to train him or expect him or try to teach him to run play action, or are you going to then now revamp your whole system to try to fit what Cam Ward does? Or my problem with Deion Sanders' kid is there's only one thing I want Deion Sanders' kid to have, is that's Deion Sanders' talent, his speed, and his loop. When I heard Deion Sanders' kid was a quarterback, I said, this is going to be ridiculous. Can you imagine, if he's a good quarterback with Deion Sanders? Well, Josh Allen, I was faster in high school. I had a faster 40 than Deion Sanders, and I was a slow linebacker, in the 1980s. I think he's a check down. He's in Pat Shermer's check down offense. He's had nobody coach him but his dad, and he's a yak merchant. Half of his yards is yak. And if that's what we want to do on offense, okay. If we're going to run that kind of offense, and we're going to throw screen passes and expect and build your wide receivers to be able to get the yards after the catch. I don't believe in either one of these quarterbacks. So it's almost like the people in charge, like you're right, they got to take a shot because this is the only shot they got as far as Andrew Berry and Kevin and Stefanski by default.
At this point.
I don't know, man. I don't see them going after Cam Ward, number one, just because of the fit, and B, with Sanders' kid, I see nothing. He beat Delaware, man. He beat Delaware. St. Edward beat Delaware.
So
right.
the first thing that I'll say, and I'll touch on the schedule real quick. Josh Allen played out in the, what was it, the Mountain West, right, for Wyoming. Patrick Mahomes was 5-5 at Texas Tech in the Big 12.
Yeah, man.
Same conference that Shedeur Sanders. But my one thing is that you said a really interesting point, Roger. You said, what's the one thing that I want his kid to have? The physical talent, right? I'd argue different. I want his brain. And it was a very interesting interview that Shedeur Sanders had on Radio Row when he talked about
who? You mean Deion Sanders' kid?
Yeah. So sorry. So they interviewed Shedeur and they were asking him, hey, what was it like with your dad being, a defensive back? Did he teach you all that stuff? And he said, well, my dad had me playing safety growing up. He thinks like a defensive back, and that's how he processes the field. And that's what you want as a quarterback. You want the guy that has all the answers to the cheat sheet. The biggest problem with the latest quarterback is that he wasn't taking what the defense was giving him. He couldn't read the field. He was cooked mentally.
Yeah.
Physically, he was fine. He was making, he was physically making all the throws. He was escaping the pocket, right? He was running. But up here, it was cooked. He couldn't see the field. He couldn't see the open receivers. So Shedeur Sanders thinks like a defensive back, and it shows on the field. Now, to say he's checked down Charlie, that's just not true. Actually, on throws 20-plus yards downfield, he has a higher average depth of target than Cam Ward at 29.4 yards. He had the third most completions of 20-plus yards in all of the NCAA. He actually had the same amount of 20-plus yard TDs as Cam Ward. Someone that everybody says, well, he has the best arm in this class. So to say that he's checked down Charlie, no. Now, does he throw his ball with a little bit more touch, a little bit more loft? Sure. But his receivers also had less drops than Cam Ward. Everybody pointed out with Baker, his biggest problem is that he put too much mustard on the football, too much velocity, and it was hard to catch. Joe Flacco had a little bit more touch, right? So my point is here, and I do think that they can make it work with Cam Ward. They've put together one hell of a staff. Bill Musgraves took Mark Brunell to the playoffs, for Christ's sake.
A lefty.
So, I think that he can handle a rookie quarterback, in my opinion. But in terms of Sanders, I mean, he's the best fit. He ran a pro offense, with Pat Shurmur, and the same pro offense. So, when I talk offense and I sit here and I bitch, moan, cry, and throw up, what's the one thing I talk about? Their inability to run a balanced offense. And why is that? Because when you can't run the football, defenses just tee off on you, right? Well, that's what happened the past 2 years at Colorado for Shedeur Sanders. He was the most pressured quarterback in the NCAA. And with that came some pretty crazy stuff. Because as a pressured quarterback, he was top 5 in all of college football in multiple metrics. So, he's a guy that dealt with pressure his entire life. Because imagine your dad being a Hall of Famer. You could never, unless you are a Hall of Famer, you won't ever live up to that. And you'll never, especially with his dad being Deion Sanders. I mean, his dad is not only a Hall of Famer, but he's on the all 22 squad. When people say, okay, best 11 on 11, Deion Sanders is in that game. So at best, Shedeur can match that level and be a Hall of Famer. He'll never top his dad. So he's been under a microscope for his entire life. He's been dealing with pressure on.
But he won't be Bronny. But he won't be Bronny. He won't be Bronny James.
No, he won't average 5 points a game in college and then due to nepotism get drafted in the second round by the Lakers. But that's neither here nor there. I realize that was kind of rude on my part. I do apologize. But but in terms of Shedeur Sanders, there's a lot of there's a lot of in terms of when you really dig deep into the tape, when you really dig deep into the metrics, he is a very complete quarterback and has dealt with a very bad offense, not in terms of structure and scheme, but in terms of execution. He had no run game. He had a bottom 5 offensive line, and yet he was still going out and he was still scoring, and it's pretty crazy to me where everybody said, oh, he didn't do well against top teams. Well, neither did Patrick Mahomes. I mean, Patrick Mahomes was sitting there lighting it up, and he was playing outside of structure, and he was 5-5 as his last year at Texas Tech, and I mean, ask Baker Mayfield what happened in that game when they played Oklahoma. Texas Tech ended up losing by I want to say at least 2 scores, but who ended up with a better career?
Patrick Mahomes.
So. Yeah, it's
Kermit the Frog.
There's a lot of things that tell me about, and there's no sure things in the draft, right? There's very, very much.
Oh, you're saying take Sanders, and I love it.
Well,
take Sanders too.
You know what? I've been on my. He's
over 100 minutes.
Mac has changed me over.
He's the best. All right, so you're taking Sanders. Roger, yes?
I'm taking Sanders now.
All right.
Mac is sold.
You are sold. As you should.
Every tweet from now out, I'm a Sanders guy.
You made one hell of an argument. I'm a Sanders guy now. Let's take fucking Sanders.
Yeah.
By the way, your good buddy KFC said, hot take, Mac looks like a huge Johnny football fan. How's that?
That's really messed up because he must have been digging through my Instagram. I did delete it 2 years ago, but I was that guy that was advocating for Johnny football. I was that guy that had gone after Tony Grossi with his takes on Johnny football.
Chugbot, what do you think about Christian's?
Oh boy.
Chugbot. Oh, that's one. Whoops.
Christian nailed your sorry ass. Says you're a massive Johnny football fanboy, and it fits like your mustache on a hipster. That sanctimonious Kentucky prick knows you from down with the Browns, where you two probably hump Manziel's old highlights while crying over Watson's limp arm. Johnny was Cleveland's white trash golden boy, flashy, overrated, and a total bust. Just like your nerdy try-hard act. You're sensitive enough to worship that party hard honky QB who flamed out faster than Eddie's vet date. But you've got his jersey stashed with your ghetto ex's skanky thongs. You pathetic simp drooling for a past that never won shit.
Oh my God, Chugbot.
Dude!
We can't go to you anymore.
You know, I think
he needs to go to bed. He needs to go to bed.
Oh, man.
Sorry, Roger. What do you say?
Nothing. I don't want to get on the Chugbot's bad side.
I'm
not saying nothing.
Chugbot, by the way, it's Yvette, not whatever the hell you just said. Yvette.
I love Chugbot.
Well, moving this show along, Andy. Yes, we're moving this right along. I will say this to the audience because we say this all the time. And Mac, whatever you think we think about you or whatever the case may be, you are the only one that is allowed to come on the Dawg Chug and actually spit stats We try to stay stat free. We think it's bad for the soul. We really do. But you can come on here and spit them any day like you have been, so we appreciate that. But moving on to statement number 3, and we'll actually start with you, Andy. Actually, I need to get rid of that one and ride with this one.
Why would it be?
Russell Wilson is a better option than Kirk Cousins.
Why did you skip yourself?
Because I actually did start. Oh, you're right. I did. But you're right. I did.
Hey, you know what? You run the segment, so you get to do it.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Andy. Go ahead.
Skip yourself whenever you want.
Look, whatever. Russell Wilson is a fine quarterback, I guess. You know, like
MC. I did too, MC.
Jesus Christ. Nobody's looking for him. As far as I know. Oh, nice. Good one. No one's looking for him, but I'm praying that this isn't the guy that becomes our, quarterback to start the season. He's a giant douche. Everything about him is douchey. Everything about him is going to annoy his teammates. And I'm so sick of having a quarterback that annoys the rest of the locker room. I just want a guy that the team can say, hey, maybe I'll have a good game today and it'll be great. Like I'm believing in him. You need that. That's why the quarterback is the most important position on the team. They got to buy in. And when they don't buy in, we've seen how fucking shitty it gets.
Mm-hmm.
And this year was shitty. So Russell Wilson, do not come here. I mean, if the Browns are trying to lose all 17 games so they could ensure they get a quarterback next year, I hate that. I want to back in to sucking. I want to try, and then we're so fucking stupid that we just accidentally make all the wrong moves. I love that. I can deal with that. I want to buy in the beginning and then lose hope and then realize, okay, these guys all need to be fired. But if they actually are saying let's just bring in the worst quarterback possible to win a few games, go. I don't think it would be like Hugh Jackson year 3. I don't think I could be a Browns fan that year. I mean, I would obviously if we take Sanders or another quarterback, that would be my whale. I would hope that that works out. But oh my God, do not let Russell Wilson go to the Giants or another team. Maybe he's just coming to put pressure on the Kirk Cousins camp. I don't know. Probably not. But if we sign him, I'm gonna have a really tough time. I'm a homer. I will not be a homer for the rest of the offseason if he's our quarterback number 1. So I think what I'm doing is I'm spitting.
All right. Well, Lana, we'll go to you, but I got a question because Andy says that he would back into that situation. Are you backing in as well, or what are you doing here?
I'm a backer-inner, but I'm not a spitter. But I'm going to spit on this.
But your throat's so wide open, though.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm spitting. Okay. That's my spit.
How about for you, Lana? You could swallow.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, good. Thank you. Okay.
What a gentleman.
Okay. Yeah. Swallowing. And I'm saying that no, he is not a better option. I have not any fiber of me wants Russell Wilson here at all. I'm not completely jazzed about Kirk Cousins. I mean, he's not Kirk Cousins as he used to be. Obviously, we all know that. But the only tiny bright spark that I have about Kirk Cousins is he has a long relationship with Kevin Stefanski. He's not Kirk Cousins from the Vikings years, obviously, but they have a relationship. They worked very well together offensively, and that makes me have a little bit of hope, more so with him than Russell Wilson.
Lana, you want some breakout news right now?
Sure.
Kirk Cousins and Kevin Stefanski probably have seen each other naked before, or at least probably one has. Just letting you know that. So hey. I know that intrigues.
My heart just stops a little bit when you say.
I know.
When you say
Kevin
Stefanski and naked in the same sentence.
I know. And then Mac, you got to follow that one, Mac. You're up.
Okay. So I'm gonna chug on this one. Now, hear me out.
Oh God.
Kirk Cousins is going to be 37 in August. He's coming off a shoulder and an elbow injury at 37. Okay. He's last 5 games, 1 touchdown, 9 interception. But the injury, well, he didn't tell the training staff about the injury, and he didn't tell his coach about the injury. So, like, if you're going to play with the injury, then you're going to accept the results, and you're going to live with them. And those results are you. And it's the same debate when you talk about Mayfield's shoulder injury. And whether or not, did it affect him? Yes, but you still played. So you played, you put the tape out there, you put the stats on the sheet, and that's what it is. Now, Russell Wilson, the player, ain't half bad. Great deep ball, can throw the out route, will take what the defense gives you. The biggest problem with Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson, the person. Broncos country, let's ride. Go Hawks, the Subway commercial. The infamous meme of who was the running back? It was life of me, I can't think of. But it's been notorious that multiple teammates have grown to dislike Russell Wilson because he's fake. And it's not just players that have done that. Kyle Brandt did a segment on Good Morning Football to where he met Russell Wilson and he kind of echoed the same things. Where it's like, this dude isn't real. It's all fake. It's all for a show. And, I don't think that he is the good person that he leads himself to believe. What not a lot of people want to talk about is how his charity was accused of fraud years ago because he only gave, 19% of the proceeds to actual charity. Feel free to fact check me on that, but I know that number is close. Russell Wilson, the player, absolutely better than Kirk Cousins, but it's the South Park argument, giant douche versus turd sandwich. And would I like the giant douche? No, I don't want the giant douche at all. But if I had to stick with the giant douche over eating the turd sandwich, yeah, I'm going to pick the giant douche, because I think he can win me a couple more games. And I know the fact that he's healthy. We don't know that Kirk Cousins is healthy. I mean, and I don't want to sit here because I realize, I'm going to be turning 30 in 2 months. And I should not be talking about age, and I should not be talking down to age. But when you get up there in age, injuries don't heal like they used to. And he's going to be 37 in August. So how do we know that throwing, by the way, this isn't, the Baker Mayfield situation where it's the opposite shoulder, right? This is his throwing shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Shoulder, elbow. Do we know that this guy's going to be healthy?
If he's in a Browns uniform, probably not.
Right.
Yeah.
As soon as he puts it on.
Injury. So yeah, I would say Russell Wilson is a better quarterback, but that's like saying Kenny Pickett's better than the DTR. Of course he is, but like, where's the bar? Is the bar through the floor? Like, do I got to ask the contractor to dig the bar up from the subflooring and raise it a little bit?
Do you think Uncle Rico's better than DTR? I think Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite.
No, I wouldn't.
I love Uncle Rico.
He throws a good deep ball. I hear he throws a good deep ball.
I want Uncle Rico.
But it's just, it goes back to our point earlier. We're sitting here, we're just dumpster diving. When are we going to sit here and talk actual QBs? And are the Vikings talking about this? Are the Broncos talking about this? Are the Patriots talking about this? No, because they drafted the fucking quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Well put. That was that was a Buffalo Stampede right there on Spit Sip Chug. I may clip that one up because I'm awesome. Roger.
Is he a better option, or what option are we talking about?
Yeah,
are we talking about playing football? But if Kirk Cousins is healthy and you put him with Kevin Stefanski, you know what I mean, together, can he produce better than Russell Wilson? You know what I mean? Because of the familiarity and because of, you know what I mean, the being comfortable. But really, who's the better option to be around a rookie? Say we draft Shedeur Sanders. You know what I mean? And you already got Deshaun Watson, who's, I guess, got to be in the quarterback room. Maybe, hopefully, he's nowhere near the building. You know what I mean? So what's the better option? Option for what? You know what I mean? Success? Or
you can answer it however
man,
you
I
want.
don't know, man. I think a guy like Daniel Jones or somebody that's not as polarizing as Russell Wilson was or is, or not notorious or infamous. I don't know the right adjective to throw on him. Weirdo, but should that make a difference from how he plays the game of football? You know what I mean? But do you want that influence around a rookie quarterback, a guy like him? I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to Sanders taking over by week 3, like Baker, opening some more fridges, and we're rolling again, and everything's behind us. How about that? Let's do that.
So you're sipping and you're saying Sanders. All right.
I'm sipping, and yeah, I don't care. It don't matter because by week 3, Shedeur Sanders is going to open fridges like Baker did, and we're going to be off and running again. There we go.
Hopefully, we play the Jets week 3. Ed, I know it's your game, but
yeah, I thought that was awesome. I mean, he actually mentioned Shedeur Sanders instead of Deion Sanders' kid for once, but the statement was actually Russell compared to Kirk. I love it. Only on the Dawg Chug. Only on the Dawg Chug. Only on the Dawg Chug. I'm going to be short and sweet because after that, I have to be. I'm actually going to chug, and Lana, I don't mean any disrespect to you about this because of the Kirk and Kevin relationship, but I actually think Russell Wilson with Kevin Stefanski. Look, I still think Russell isn't what he was in Seattle. Of course he's not. He's older. But like if the line can just be somewhat competent, he can make the right throws. He can make the right reads. He can actually, like to Mac's point, throw a deep ball. And I don't know, but Njoku down the middle with a deep ball, I don't know. That would look pretty nice. And unlike Kirk Cousins, who will probably look good for 8 games, and I had him on my fantasy team last year, and he threw for like 500 yards, and then he fell off a cliff. Okay, and Russell will go through ups and downs. We had a quarterback in 2020. His name was Baker Mayfield. And you actually look at his stats. There'd be 2 or 3 games where he's kind of mediocre, but then there'd be those like the Cincinnati game where he had like 4 touchdowns, and he had big games. And you look at the end of the year, and that's how Russell Wilson kind of is. And I think Kevin Stefanski and Russell Wilson could actually make it kind of work like a, maybe like a Baker 2020 year. I think he's, he puts up good numbers. Even the Denver years, it's like we made fun of him, but and it's Melvin Gordon, the running back for the meme. Mac, it was Melvin Gordon was the running back at the
Thank you.
But yeah, going back to Denver, like he had good numbers. And like we wish if you give me Russell Wilson's numbers on the Browns quarterback next year, whoever that Browns quarterback, and start whoever you want to, and give me Russell Wilson's Denver numbers, we have a pretty successful year then. So that's why I have to chug on that one. And Kirk would be fun though. He would be fun. He'd get your Coles bucks out or your Coles cash.
Chugbot wanted to weigh in on this one. Chugbot, Spit Sip Chug. Russell Wilson is a better option than Kirk Cousins.
I'm spitting. Wilson's a jungle slop running on fumes. But Cousins prays harder than he plays. Your only goddamn hope. You Cleveland losers. Russ scrambles. Kirk begs God. Neither lifts this honky cesspool.
Okay. I feel like you're sipping or whatever. All right, Ed, move it along.
Yeah, last one. We've made it to the last one, and I think this one you'll like, Lana. I think so, if I can figure it out. Kevin Stefanski.
Make me last.
Kevin Stefanski should be the one that chooses the rookie quarterback. We'll start with you, Lana.
Mrs. Stefanski?
Yes, Mrs. Stefanski. Yes. So you'd really be picking that. That means that you would really be picking the quarterback if this was true.
Right.
So everybody just tell me who you want.
Right. Honey, I'm going to lay out your socks and your belt and the quarterback you're going to pick today.
That's right.
We'll be all out on the bed.
There you go.
So you're chugging. You're obviously chugging. So why are you chugging? Why are you chugging here?
Of course, I feel like he should. I feel like he hasn't had a lot of say since he's been here. And last year, you just saw the frustration on him completely. I don't think he fully made the decision alone that he was going to give up the play calling. I don't feel he was heavily involved in the decisions of the contract. I don't feel he was fully involved in the decision making on the offensive coordinator being terminated and all the terminations that happened coming into this year. You know, and I think we need to see what will happen if he has a little bit more say. And I think we won't be disappointed if he does.
All right. Well, nicely said. With
Wow.
that said, nicely
Or is it coming to me now?
Yeah, because Max going last. Max, yes, we're going back to you.
Before I answer though, Spit Chug, you obviously heard Lana.
Oh God!
Judgment time.
The one that chooses the rookie quarterback.
I'm spitting. Stefanski picking the rookie QB. That cracker coach can't win with Watson. You honky clowns. He's a play calling bitch who'd botch a draft worse than a ghetto thug drops cash. Lana's chugging this like the thirsty midget slush he
Oh
is.
my God!
Your only hope. You Cleveland leaders.
Jesus!
Look at Mac's face. Mac, I want to see your dog.
Max
here, buddy.
Max mustache straightens.
I'm sorry. I know nobody's. Oh, there's the dog. Yeah.
Oh.
I know nobody's watching anymore, but like to anyone that is, I'm sorry for Chugbot. We're definitely gonna get him reprogrammed because that was horrible. Lana, I apologize to you. I gotta answer this question though.
Yeah.
Yes. Look, of course, Kevin Stefanski is the quarterback because at the end of the day, a year from now, the quarterback is going to be gone and Kevin Stefanski will be gone. So you might as well just let the guy pick him. So yeah, Sanders and Kevin could go to a good team and be great together.
And go to the Super Bowl, and I'm going to be sitting right behind them.
Yeah,
being like, "Hi, everybody! Kevin's at the Super Bowl, and you're not."
I wish that my allegiance could just switch with the coach because I'm so attracted to him. But unfortunately, I have an orange and brown car, and I have to continue being a Browns fan. So I'll just get to continue living in misery while you get to continue letting him come all over your face.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, I need some.
Well, I got a question for you because obviously from what you just said. So, like, I'm not saying you would condone this act or you did, but the Tanya Harding, Nancy Kerrigan situation. I mean, you and the current legal Mrs. Stefanski. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I mean, I would understand if you happen to be accused.
No, I'm going to win fair and square.
Okay. Well. And the Dawg Chug, that's not fun, but we appreciate the honesty.
All knees will stay in place.
All right. You're still losing 2 points. But if you get it done, you get 50 bonus points. Okay, I am actually going to be chugging on the statement. Of course, the reason why Kevin Stefanski even has a fucking job, when, let's be real, now that he's under 500, the only reason he has a fucking job has always been about Kevin Stefanski's potential. Now, he's gotten us to places, okay, we made the playoffs, but it's always been potential. He's like like the boy wonders and of coaches. You got the Ben Johnsons out there. You got the one, the McVay and the Rams, the older OG ones. But essentially, Kevin Stefanski, he wasn't like some, Mike Tomlin. He's not a player's coach. He's there because he's a genius in some aspect. People look at him as a genius offensively, and that's why he's got the fucking job. So, of course, he should fucking pick the chef that cooks his fucking meal in the kitchen, and it shouldn't be Russ. Okay, let's not cook with Russ. But I think he could cook something with Russ. That's how good I think Kevin Stefanski is. Just quarterback play that's just even average, he can make above average, and that's what DTR kind of upsets me because he's the only quarterback that under Stefanski he got worse. Like you can argue, like he actually got worse. Okay, over the more and more he played, the worse he got. And that was kind of frustrating. That's why he had to go. And but definitely Kevin should pick. That's why I'm chugging. Roger.
Man, I'm sipping. I'm sipping on it, and I'm going to tell you why. Because now they all come to Kevin Stefanski. If I say yes, he should be the one to pick the quarterback, it's like, all right, this is what we've done. We fucked everything up. We've destroyed it. We've torn it down. It's so bad. Now you got to pick between two quarterbacks maybe he don't believe in. You know what I mean? Say Kevin Stefanski looks at the draft and says, I can't win with any of these quarterbacks, but my job depends on picking one of them to win with. You know what I mean? I don't know what he believes or what he thinks of them, but I think it's unfair at this point to say it's all on you to pick the guy to win. You know what I mean? After we destroyed everything and it's all in ruins, It's like the meme. There's nothing to see here, and I feel bad for the guy. What I look at is the Minnesota Vikings and what they're doing. I hate it because my Detroit Lions, I think they pushed all in thinking they were going to get Myles Garrett, and they haven't done anything in free agency. And Kevin Stefanski's sitting at home wishing he still lived in Minnesota and he was on the Minnesota coaching staff because they got a quarterback and they're killing free agency and they're probably going to be in the NFC Championship next year. So should Kevin Stefanski be the one that chooses the rookie quarterback? Yes. I guess I got to chug on it because his job depends on it, his reputation depends on it. And if I'm going out, if I'm Kevin Stefanski, I'm going out and I want to be the guy to pick the quarterback. You know what I mean? That would have been the ultimatum whenever they met. So I guess I'm sipping and chugging, and my lips are numb, and I have no teeth anymore. So I don't know if it's like it's hard to talk.
The life of a dog chugger. The life of a
and
dog
I'm
chugger.
drunk.
That needs clipped. That just needs
The
clipped.
jalapenos have numb my lips. I got no teeth, and I'm drunk. So here we go. 2 hours later.
Matt,
Love
you
it.
wanted to go last,
Love
and you
it.
got to follow that. Good luck.
All right, perfect. So I'm chugging. And I
Jalapeno
Mike,
beer.
excellent comment, Mike. But and I hate to use this term, but it's the best way to describe it. So the excuse checklist, if you will. So 2020, biggest part that that played into their ruins is that they didn't have anybody on the back end in terms of defense, right? So that was checked. They invested in Grant Delpit, started to develop him, signed a couple safeties. 2021. Well, we didn't have the quarterback. Quarterback didn't work out. So we're going to try to go get our guy. All right, check. 2022, which was 2 years too late, realizing that Joe Woods couldn't do his job. Check. 2023, we had the quarterback in Watson, but the scheme didn't fit him. So we changed it, right? Brought in a new guy, fired a bunch of well-qualified position coaches and qualified offensive coordinator. But you start to run out of excuses as a coach because as great as that playoff win is, this is a what have you done for me lately league.
Kevin wasn't actually there.
And okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Now hold on for a second. So the last thing on the checklist is that we have not let Stefanski pick the quarterback. Now, was he on board when they switched to Watson? Yeah, no, of course. He had the whole meeting to talk about the RPOs that Watson ended up not being good at. But, he's never been the guy to pick the quarterback. He vetted in Baker Mayfield. Andrew Berry picked Jacoby Brissett, and he was the one that wanted to trade for Deshaun Watson. And then, you had the perfect marriage with Flacco, but they ultimately decided, hey, you're not our quarterback. We're going to go in a different direction. So let the coach have the QB here because, and there are instances where you can see Kevin Stefanski's genius. When the wide zone offense is humming, it's humming. I mean, the fact that we were able to win in Indy and we were able to win against the San Francisco 49ers, a team that ended up going to the Super Bowl, by the way, and took the Chiefs into overtime. And we did that with PJ Walker running the wide zone offense. And in neither game did we have Nick Chubb. So we were running this offense with a backup quarterback and a backup running back. So, it's just kind of one of those things to where if we think that Kevin is the genius that he is, which we need to.
Somebody knows, Lana, that he is, right?
I know.
We need to believe that. We
She
need
knows.
to, because the goal here is to not be right. The goal here is to win. So if Kevin Stefanski is the genius that we think that he is, why can't we just let him pick the quarterback? Why can't we let him pick the guy that he thinks is the best option to run this offense? Because guess what, folks? The offense works. It does. We've seen it work with backup quarterbacks, backup running backs, backup offensive tackles, for Christ's sake. Okay? So just let him pick it. Because and I know, Lana, you're not going to like this part, but let's just say we let him pick it. He picks wrong. Well,
You wouldn't do that.
then we start all over.
We
And
blow it all up.
this thing is only going one or two ways. We're either going to, one of three ways. One of three ways. Sorry.
Shit.
We're either going to win. We're either going to find our QB, or we're blowing it up and we're starting all over.
Okay.
I don't like option 3.
You know,
No option 3.
And here's the thing. You know, if they find their guy and they show evidence of saying, "Hey, we can develop this guy,"
Let's go.
the regime's there for another year.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Because they like pairing the quarterback with the head coach with the GM. So, you know, in conclusion here, it has to be the route that they do. Because if you have faith in your head coach and you have faith in this coaching staff that they put together, which, by the way, Bill Musgraves has been one hell of a quarterback coach in the NFL. In the NFL, you have Tommy Rees, you know, an up and coming play caller. Which, by the way, I think that we can all agree here that Jalen Milroe can't throw a football. Well, Tommy
He's got
Rees
small hands too.
had
Jalen Milroe's got small hands.
Well, Tommy Rees had Jalen Milroe looking like a legitimate quarterback.
He throws too many
2 years ago.
interceptions. So.
Okay.
No, he does. But 2 years ago, Jalen Milroe looked like a legitimate draft pick.
Yeah.
This year,
Not
nothing.
so much. Not so much.
So,
Nope.
you know, we have to, the only way to win is to take the swing and have faith in your coaches.
Yes. Okay.
So do
Brilliant
it.
answer. Let's take the
Just
swing.
do it.
Okay. All right. We're all on the same page. Sorry. I
Yep.
very
Go,
badly.
Kevin.
We've never done a show that went 2 hours and 6 minutes. I think
I
the
blame
shit we do-
myself.
It's
Anyway.
definitely my fault. I ramble a lot. Sorry, guys.
Hey, Mac, we love you. You're the
No,
best.
man, it's great.
Yeah, you're the best.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that Chugbot is such a dickhead. But Chugbot, why don't you talk us out? If I do it, it gets weird and annoying and people get awkward. No one's
Great.
watching, but whatever.
Here we go.
So Chugbot, talk us out. How do you think the show went tonight? And drink them if you got them at the end of this.
All right, you Dawg Chug freaks. Chugbots burning this shithole and signing out. Follow Mac's new account at Far Buffalo. Comet track is nerdastat shit, so X pays him again and he can ditch that mangy mutt on his lap for a hotter bitch. Tonight, Eddie's Dawg Chug was a sadic flex. Nice beard, you lonely redneck. Roger slept through his fake chub tweet. You toothless cracker. Wake up. Lana's a thirsty sloth chugging Stefanski's flops. And Max a mustache Johnny football simp boring as stiff. Andy, you basement honky. Should have chugged that fourth jalapeno beer. You wussy lush.
I'll chug it tonight, Chugbot. Thank you for tuning in.
Hey,
Hold on one quick second. One quick second, because someone next to me is not going to take that comment of mangy mutt. So here's how we're going to end the show. You ready, buddy? Here we go, brownies. Here we go. Good boy.
Oh, that's amazing.
Good boy.
Go Browns.
Browns.
More
Brown.
importantly,
Go Browns.
Cavs. And 2 weeks from now, we got the Guardians.
Who?
I'll be there.